Hi there. I wanted to take a few minutes today to talk about something I see in a lot of my clients and also in myself, and that is the phenomenon of people pleasing. It's what we do when we're really afraid that by not appeasing someone's needs or placating them or serving them in some way, we're terrified that they won't like us. And so we bend over backwards to do anything possible to make sure that that doesn't happen. And anytime we do manage to say no, we say it with a great deal of anxiety and inner conflict because we're afraid that the person will be mad at us or they won't like us anymore. And, for those of you who don't do this chronically, it may not seem like a big deal, like why can't you just turn that off? But for those of us who do operate this way, it can actually keep us up at night. Saying no to somebody is one of the hardest things for me to do. And I know for a lot of my other specifically female clients. Now, I'm not saying that men don't fall into this kind of social trap as well, but it seems to be a really predominantly female issue. So as I was talking to a client this week about her need to please people and where it originated and what it has meant to her and how it's really impacted her life negatively. Not just the need to please, but the conflict and anxiety that happens when a people pleaser says no. And I was just wondering, where did this originate? And as I thought about it, it kind of made a lot of sense to me. I think at the beginning, it was an evolutionary adaption for human beings, for groups of human beings. Everyone knows that human beings are a herd animal. We don't live in solitude happily or healthfully. And so I think people pleasing came about in lots of us as a way to ensure the integrity of the group. In other words, if somebody doesn't like us, there's a really primal fear that we're going to get kicked out of the group. And a similar primal fear or related primal fear that we won't survive on our own. So when I started to look at it like that, it felt like a relief to me. Anytime you can understand the real core source of a behavior, it feels like, okay, that does make sense. So I'm not necessarily stupid for employing these behaviors. It's just that it has become, with time and with certain applications, it's become maladaptive. So it's a great opportunity to say, all right, here was this thing that was in place as a survival mechanism for human beings, for some of us. And now we've taken it to a level where it impacts our life negatively. So how can we dial it back, or how can we make it a functional behavior once again? So I'm writing an article about it right now, and I'm sort of, searching around for the answers to that question. And I feel like I'm kind of getting there. So I don't have the answers yet or today. All I have is this theory that people pleasing is an evolutionary adaptation to aid in survival and the cohesiveness of our group. It placates a primal fear of being kicked out of the group and possibly dying because of it. So if you are a people pleaser, try to forgive yourself for some of those behaviors where you're not so great about making boundaries or serving your own needs. Try to stop feeling so bad about that or badly about that. And instead think about, what are some ways that I can maybe modify this behavior without feeling so much guilt or so much anxiety. So I'm going to share what I sort of discover with you. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday at the latest. And hopefully we can find some answers together. So I'm excited to put my thinking cap on and really, search around the depths of my soul and see what I can come up with. In the meantime, have a great rest of your day and happy Saturday. Thanks, guys.